going on. So we are listing Leo with Maya protocol. You guys already probably know that. Um, they've been working on this V109, which is the newest upgrade to their network. And as part of that upgrade, Leo is getting listed on Maya protocol. So this is a big deal for us to obviously have this layer one connection. It's something I've wanted for a really long time for the Leo token. Whether it was Thorchain or Maya, it has the same impact to be listed on one of these L1 dexes. Maya is building an aggregator that will, basically allow seamless swaps between anything listed on Maya and anything listed on Thorchain. You'll be able to swap as if they're on the same network. So it's pretty incredible the things that they're building on Maya. And they're still a pretty small project. Like if you look at their market cap and whatnot, it's not a huge project yet, but I do have a feeling that they're gonna grow exponentially in this bull run. Not just in terms of market cap, but in terms of like capital, liquidity, and features on Maya protocol. So this is a really good positioning opportunity for Leo to get listed there. So this is I'm gonna probably be dropping a lot of bombshells during this AMA because, like I said, there's a lot that's been going on, and we spent all night working on some things. We're really we're really in sprint mode right now. So first bombshell is that we were originally going to list Wrapped Leo on Maya, and literally in the last 24 hours, we've been testing our Hive swaps, which is using the new LeoDex UI. So you'll be able to swap Hive for anything that's listed on Maya and vice versa. And it all is aggregated through the Leo Maya, the Leo Cacao pool on Maya. So Leo is like that center aggregator, and then everything's kind of routed through it. And this is obviously a huge deal because Hive doesn't have any real like good DEX listings. And this is going to be probably the biggest DEX listing for Hive in history. And moving forward, I expect to see a lot of volume flow through this pool. So while we've been testing that, obviously, we've been paying ETH gas fees because it's wrapped Leo. So, paying gas fees is enormous. And in paying all those gas fees, we were really thinking about a couple different things. And then we also did the Mondays with Maya yesterday, and they were jokingly talking about, when Arbitrum Leo. So in version 109 on Maya, they're adding Arbitrum as a blockchain to Maya. And obviously, like I said, in version 109, they're adding Arbitrum, and then they're also adding a wrapped Leo pool. So, I was talking to the devs, and then I was talking to Maya's team, and I was like, well, we're testing this Hive swap, but the problem is if you do $100 swap, you end up paying like $40 in fees because of the Ethereum blockchain. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And many of you already know Ethereum has a lot of the issues with whale games and obviously just a lot of fees that you have to pay being on Ethereum. So we decided to figure out how hard would it actually be for us to launch Arbitrum Leo in time to get listed also with the Arbitrum update on the Maya protocol. And we spent all night and figured out that we could get it done in the next 12 hours, which was last night. That's when the clock started ticking. So in the next 2 hours, literally, Arbitrum Leo is going to go live. So there's going to be a new version of Wrapped Leo on the Arbitrum blockchain. If you don't know anything about Arbitrum, I'm sure we're going to start putting out a lot of content about it. But Arbitrum is a L2 for Ethereum, and the fees are pennies. I mean, it's like even cheaper than Polygon. So Arbitrum is a really exciting place. There's a lot happening on it right now. That's part of the reason Maya is integrating it. And we will be now the first token listed on Maya for the Arbitrum blockchain. So like obviously Arbitrum is going to get listed, but then we'll be the first like Arbitrum token getting listed on Maya protocol instead of Wrapped Leo. So now it's Arbitrum Leo, and there's a lot that's going to go into that, but the kind of key ideas here is that Arbitrum is an L2 for Ethereum, and the fees are very cheap. So now instead of a $100 swapping Hive to Bitcoin, for example, using the new LeoDex UI, instead of paying like $40 in fees because of the Ethereum blockchain, your fees are going to be a lot cheaper. So at least the gas fee part of that is going to be extremely cheap. So, you're talking about basically being able to do a swap for a few dollars versus, say $40. So that's going to make a lot more, it's going to make it a lot more feasible for smaller swaps to happen. And, knowing the target market of like Hive, LeoDex, Leo, having the ability to do smaller swaps is very important. So, I really started racking my brain yesterday trying to figure out if this would all be possible. And, it is a huge change. And I was talking to my team, and I was talking to Eric about how kind of crazy all of this is, that we're just like last second, quick switch on the field to do Arbitrum Leo instead of Wrapped Leo. But I do think this is the right path forward. And, looking at things on a longer term scale, we could, just go forward with Wrapped Leo like we were going to, and then do Arbitrum Leo later. But I decided, it would be better to just do it right from the start. So it's exciting. I'm really excited about it. And, again, we've been testing these Hive L1 swaps. I think the entire Hive ecosystem is going to be extremely excited about being able to, like, you will literally be able to say, okay, I have $150 worth of Bitcoin and I want to buy Hive with it. I don't want to use, Binance because I live in the US or whatever, and I can't use, Binance, or I live somewhere else or whatever. I don't have access to these centralized exchanges. So, I want to be able to swap on a DEX, and you've got Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet that you self-custody. You'll be able to literally just go to LeoDex, and then you'll be able to enter, Bitcoin in the input, Hive in the output, and then you'll be able to do a easy swap, literally from Bitcoin to Hive. And the fees will be extremely low, and it will be feasible to do a swap at $150, whereas before with Wrapped Leo, it wouldn't be. I see Addicted asking probably the most important question here, which is a 12-hour sprint on a new blockchain could result in a security vulnerability. I mean, it sounds good and it's EVM, so maybe it's fine. So if you dig into Arbitrum a little bit, it's an L2 for Ethereum. Actually, gas fees on Arbitrum are paid in ETH. So, it was very easy for us. This is why, at first I was like, well, this is not going to be feasible. We can't do this in the next day. Like we literally had like a 12-hour clock of when we could, like a 12-hour window of when we could actually do this, and still fit it in the V109 update. So, after looking at Arbitrum, realizing that we literally can just clone the contract onto Arbitrum. So, it is I don't think we're at risk for anything on the like Leo token side. There's nothing at risk there. It's literally an identical contract to Wrapped Leo. So yeah, we've been looking at it, and obviously we'll have people review it, and the Maya team even wants to review it before we obviously go live with them. So, between our internal reviews, the fact that it's just a simple clone contract, I mean, you can put them side by side and just read them line for line. And then also that the Maya team's going to review it. I'm not concerned about the token aspect of it at the least. So ultimately, I'm really excited about it. I think that having, doing away with the ETH gas fee part is going to be a major deal in terms of getting more volume on this pair. I think, one thing I was worried about was that, yes, it's exciting. We're listing Wrapped Leo. I was extremely excited about it, and I think a lot of you are as well. But the problem with Wrapped Leo is like you got to trade over $1,000 bare minimum to make the fees worth it. And even at $1,000, it's still probably not even worth it, because you're going to end up paying like $50 to $100 in fees. So, making it Arbitrum Leo is going to be a hugely positive impact, in my opinion.
I'm always a fan of no ETH gas fees. What do you know
Yeah.
that?
Well, and Arbitrum is really exciting because you still pay fees in ETH, but you pay them on an L2. So you're using the ETH token, but you're using an L2 where the fees are a lot cheaper. So it feels like you're using Ethereum, but you're obviously using a layer two. So Arbitrum is kind of like I guess I've heard that Arbitrum, like the simple explanation is like it's a better Polygon, because that's essentially what Polygon always aimed to be, was a good L2 to reduce gas fees on Ethereum. There's also a lot of just really positive things happening on Arbitrum right now. So again, really positioning Leo in an interesting spot here where we're going on to Maya protocol at a time when I believe it's right before they're going to take off in a lot of ways. Like they've got streaming swaps coming next month. Arbitrum's about to get listed, as a swapping route in their protocol. And they've got the aggregator that's going to launch in the next like 6 to 8 weeks, I think, for Thorchain. So it's just like we are building in the right places at the right times. I think this is really good positioning for us.
Nice. Ideally, everyone can hear me on Spaces still because I switched some audio stuff because I couldn't deal with the echo anymore. But I feel like I'm good. I feel like I should be good.
Yeah, I can hear you in all the places.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. I mean, just from a liquidity standpoint.
Yeah,
Um,
Luis88 just posted it's simple, add Arbitrum to MetaMask as a network. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are familiar with like
hell
how you
yeah.
add Polygon or BSC, I mean, you literally just a couple clicks, you can add Arbitrum into your MetaMask. And then, like I said, you still use ETH. There's you don't use like the ARB token for gas. So and the
There you
fees
go.
are
Yeah.
dirt cheap. So it's very nice.
Put a little screenshot there of the info. I will upvote that thread. Hell, I'll go add it right now on my MetaMask. I'm doing that. Messing around MetaMask anyway, getting my cub all set so I can burn, baby, burn.
Yeah, speaking of Cub, well, I
Traded
guess
some
let's stick
burns
on
the first
this.
week.
Yeah, let's stick on
Yeah,
this topic for
let's
a second because I'm seeing a
wrap
lot of
up.
questions.
Yeah, 100%.
So addicted, does this mean WLO cacao is redundant and would be scrapped? Yes. So they actually said that we could just launch both pools and have Wrap Leo and Arbitrum Leo simultaneously. But we're just going to focus on Arbitrum Leo. We could in the future always add Wrap Leo. They basically have already added it. So we'd have to do is like supply liquidity. To make Raptleo go live. So always possible that we could have both, but I don't really, unless ETH gas fees come down, I don't really see the point of adding Raptleo to Maya. Um, I think it just makes a lot more sense to do Arbitrum Leo, especially after, like I said, we've been spending a lot of time working on these Hive and HBD swaps using the LeoDex UI. And after seeing the fees and just seeing what would be feasible, so there's like a dual problem here, and this is what we're aiming to solve with the Arbitrum integration. When you like, so the way the route works is you go from Hive to swap.hive to Leo, and then you wrap Leo to wrapped Leo, and then the wrapped Leo is swapped through Maya protocol into like Bitcoin or whatever output you choose, for example. So the route has like four major steps to it. The problem is wrapped Leo is on Ethereum. It has like enormous gas fees. Then also you have to pay the fee to go from Hive to swap.hive. You also have to pay the wrapping fee to go to wrapped Leo. And then you have to pay the outbound fee on Maya protocol. So between all of these fees, it was like if you swap and then also the slippage between Hive and Leo. So when you added up all these fees, it was like you could swap $500 and pay a $200 fee in terms of slippage and all the different wrapping and et cetera gas fees. So it's like, it was just completely unfeasible to figure out a transaction that made sense because if you did a $5,000 transaction, then the slippage was really high. So it's like, pick your poison at that point. It wasn't a good situation. With Arbitrum Leo, the fees will be a lot lower, the static fees. So you'll be able to do like, for example, a $200 trade. The slippage will be relatively low, and the gas fees will always be low. So then it's a lot more feasible to do, various size swaps. And then that gives us the ability to say, okay, if you want to swap Hive to Bitcoin or Bitcoin to Hive, you can do like a $200 swap is like your sweet spot where the slippage is low and the gas fees are low. So that's only possible with the Arbitrum integration. Um, it really took us kind of testing this in the real world to see how necessary it was to go through the pain of doing all this. So definitely a good move in my opinion. for the long run. And it gives us time to say, okay, the ideal swap right now is like $200. And then it gives us time to build liquidity for Leo Hive, the Leo Hive route. So that allows us to, build up that liquidity. So then the size of swaps can just keep going up over time. Um, Luis 88. Yeah, I don't actually know how that website works, but maybe they'll add something there. Our LeoDex UI will be the only UI that allows you to swap across these routes for a couple different reasons. Also, and this gets into LeoDex a little bit, it builds a nice moat for LeoDex where it will be on Maya protocol. It will be the only exchange where you can trade Hive assets across Maya protocol. So it builds a nice moat, which is important because LeoDex earns a 0.45% affiliate fee on every swap that is done on LeoDex, and that affiliate fee buys Leo and pools it permanently. So pretty insane when you start doing the economics of it all. Steam Stream said, so there will be an Arbitrum / Leo pool. No, there will be a Leo / Cacao pool. And the version of Leo that is pooled there is Arbitrum Leo. So there's not going to be any other Leo Arbitrum pool. It's Leo - Cacao. LeoDex will go live when the Maya pool goes live, which we are still waiting on V109. So we don't know when exactly that will be. They think it'll be by the end of the week or maybe next week. But we are just waiting
So
for them at this point.
newbie question. So basically the Leo / Cacao pool. Now, is that essentially the launch pad, like the first pool, and then there's going to be Leo / other tokens?
No, so
Because we're like,
the way that Maya and Thorchain work is very cool because we will have a Leo / Cacao pool, right? And it's Leo on Arbitrum. So Arbitrum Leo / Cacao. And when you swap, so like let's say that you want to go from Leo to Bitcoin, L1 native Bitcoin. You don't need to have a Leo / Bitcoin pool because you have the Leo / Cacao pool, and Maya protocol routes all your trades for you. So you swap it, you just choose it on the
mm,
UI. You say, I want, and if any of you have used Thor Swap or anything like this, you know how this works. You say, I have Leo and I want Bitcoin, and then you just literally enter Leo Bitcoin, how much you want to swap, how much Leo you want to swap, and then you hit swap, and it just goes routes through all of this. So
gotcha. And
yeah,
Cacao is basically the middleman, so to speak, in terms of the transition.
exactly. And then
But it
for
does it for you.
exactly, and for the Hive and HBD and then Hive L2 tokens, if you want to swap, um, if you want to swap through Maya protocol, and let's say you have Hive, let's just say you have got like native Bitcoin in your wallet and you want to buy Hive, so you'll be able to go to LeoDex, and it'll be the only UI you can do this, and enter Bitcoin as your input, and you connect your Bitcoin wallet, and then you enter Hive as your output, and you connect your Hive keychain wallet, and then you select how much Bitcoin. Let's say you want to send like 0.1 Bitcoin. You select how much Bitcoin you want to send, and then it will estimate how much Hive you'll receive. You hit swap, and then LeoDex will route that swap all the way from, it'll go from Bitcoin to Cacao to Arbitrum Leo, unwrap from Arbitrum Leo to Leo, swap the Leo into swap.hive, and then unwrap the swap.hive into Hive in your wallet. And LeoDex will do all of this on one
Nice.
seamless UI.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's actually
Uh,
pretty. I mean, when you guys see, I've shared some teaser screenshots. I mean, I'll grab another one and post it in the threadcast. But when you guys see how seamless the UI is, it's incredible. And then when you understand the routes that every Hive trade, every HBD trade, every L2 Hive Engine token trade that happens through the LeoDex UI is ultimately aggregated through the Leo Arbitrum dash Cacao pool. It's like the amount of swap volume that is potentially there is really incredible.
so now, and Lewis 88 kind of asked, and I'm curious too. So based on that, the Leo Dex portion, because I feel like it's actually two things, but I guess at least a portion of it is going to be TX being routed through Hive engine nodes. I would assume, like the unwrapping and conversion piece. Is that correct? And if so, like, what's the status on what was the goal to have a dedicated node for that, or just a dedicated Leo node
Well, we have a
to
dedicated
handle all
Leo
the
node
things?
now for Hive,
Yeah.
but not for Hive Engine. Maybe we'll do one. I don't know. There's not really much of a point with the way that Hive Engine is designed. We've looked into if there's any benefit to running our own node, and there really isn't.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
um,
So, unfortunately, to an extent, we're still at the mercy of Hive engine nodes when it comes to transactions.
um, yes, there is still a Hive Engine portion where you have to go from Hive to Swap Hive to
Yep.
Leo, and then Leo gets wrapped to Arbitrum Leo.
Well, hopefully, Hive engine nodes get more and more efficient.
Right. And I do think long term there, I mean, you got VSC and then there's, potentially
True.
other L2s being worked on from what I hear. So I don't find it to be a huge concern at this stage. Looks like it's time to add some kind of
I
yield to the diesel LP. Yeah,
was just reading that too.
that may become relevant once this bridge is live with LeoDex. Because obviously a lot of swaps will happen. I wish that diesel pools would have trade like a small swap fee, because then you could have APY in that pool, and just from natively trading, like that's how Thorchain and Maya derive their yield. Um, so I wish you would have a small swap fee, and that would be the APY. So we'll see. Otherwise, another potential thing is that I really believe that LeoDex is going to be earning a pretty disproportionate amount of revenue from the affiliate fees. If you look at Thor Wallet and what's it called, Eldorado, they're earning like $30,000 and $60,000 a month in affiliate fees. So imagine if we are able to get a certain percentage of uh, those affiliate fees through LeoDex, and then those fees are buying Leo and then permanently pooling it. So, we could set aside a portion to be permanently pooled as Leo Dash Cacao, or we can set aside, or set aside some to be, in the Leo Diesel pool. So it's like we can build permanent liquidity in both places wherever it makes the most sense. And really the key is the more affiliate fees we can bring in, the more ability we have to drive in that permanent liquidity. Salome, yeah, the affiliate fees are earned in Cacao, and then we will be swapping them to Leo. So it will be organic buying pressure on Leo continuously, and then we're going to permanently pool it so that the liquidity of Leo just is constantly up and to the right. That's the goal.
45-degree angle. Let's go.
Addicted. I'm actually not sure. Is that true that the diesel pools now have a swap fee? And if so, do they create APY for the LPs? And if they do, then I don't think we actually need to add any actual like rewards to them, because if you imagine that any level of volume is, oh yeah, that must be new. Huh. Well, there you go. I guess we don't need to add anything. I haven't seen any UIs that show the yield though. If someone's got a screenshot. Um, Taskmaster's got a good question. Will the CoinGecko feed read the Aleo cacao pool? So we're actually listing this is where things get both interesting, exciting, and complicated. So we're listing Leo on Arbitrum as Leo, just Leo. We're not listing it as Arbitrum Leo. We're not listing it as Wrap Leo. We're listing it as just Leo. And we're also deploying the token with the max possible supply of the Leo token, which is 50 million. So the ceiling of Leo tokens is 50 million. If you guys read the tokenomics section of the docs, you'll see that, and you'll see how the inflation works and everything. But the max ceiling of Leo tokens that can ever exist is 50 million. And we're deploying the Arbitrum version of Leo as Leo with the max possible supply. And then we will be listing it on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, all the places. And that is very exciting because Now they'll show our proper market cap and our proper fully diluted value for the Leo token. So it's actually like the first time that Leo on the outside world will actually have like the like the, essentially the actual metrics of the tokenomics will be live on, like CoinGecko and in all the places. So that part is also very exciting. Another reason I got excited about, the Arbitrum Leo deployment.
Ask said, will CoinGecko feed read the LeoDex UI pool?
Yeah, that's what I just answered. You're
Oh, sorry. I was
good. I
reading
answered it in
questions,
a I
not listening
answered
to
it in a
you.
very adjacent way.
Well, I was reading questions instead of listening.
You're good. Um,
Too funny.
yeah, I wonder if Addicted is right about this because that's actually exciting because then we don't actually have to put any rewards into that pool. I think the swap volume alone will be plenty.
That'll be cool. Man,
Does
you
it
know shit
show the
about
APY anywhere? Addicted? I don't see it anywhere.
not on the screenshot.
And Tribal Dex doesn't even load half the time.
Well, the good news is I'm so not tapped in lately that I get on these calls and I can ask all the newbie questions for all the other newbies. I haven't fucking got diesel pool. I haven't looked at a diesel pool in eons. So out of the loop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, oh, it does say fees earned, but there's no yield display. All right, well, I'll share this screenshot. So there's a Leo Hive diesel pool that's done $3 million in volume. I'm sharing a screenshot. So if you look at Tribal Dex, I guess they've got this, but it doesn't say APY on it. So who knows? There is yield, I guess, because it's saying fees earned $2,600. Total liquidity,
Awesome.
42,000 Hive, 191,000 Leo. So if all this yield stuff is accurate, then I assume that the yield if you want to provide liquidity to the Swap Hive Leo pool, you're probably going to earn a lot of yield from the native, swap fee, considering how much volume is probably going to be routed through that pool. Yeah, I see that, Luis, but it doesn't have any APY on there for the swap rewards. Here's addicted screenshot. Let's see. Oh, this is for your Zing. Shares, quotes, quantity, fees earned $2. Oh, so it tells you how many fees you've earned. I mean, I guess that's cool. Why don't they just put an APY on there? It's a simple calculation. Whatever. Maybe one day they'll add APY. So I guess you earn yield for being in the diesel pools. I didn't know that. Yeah, 30-day. I mean, the volume on the Swap Hive Leo pool is actually not bad right now. I imagine it's going to be like right now. Let's mark this in time in this AMA. Right now, it's $66,000 per month is the volume traded in the Swap Hive Leo pool. I am going to venture to guess it's going to be 10x that at some point this year.
That wouldn't
Everyone's
suck.
asking when LeoDex. So it very soon, as soon as the Maya pool goes live for Leo Dash Cacao. But what you guys, uh, some of you know this because you've been here for all the AMAs and whatnot. LeoDex is fully converting into a multi-chain DEX, so it's not a Hive engine interface in the slightest. You won't be able to do any Hive engine things actually on LeoDex. So it's a completely new app. Literally has no ties to the old app, except for the name. It even has a new logo. Um, but you guys saw I just shared a screenshot of what LeoDex looks like.
LeoDex.
Yeah, so keep an eye on those teaser screenshots I've been sharing. But yeah,
Zing.
LeoDex will not be able to do the things like BSwap and Tribal Dex can. It is completely unrelated to those. It is a cross-chain swapping interface. Um,
So
so
that's the screenshot that Lewis just posted is the his tribal decks with APRs.
that is BSwap, but that's for
Oh yeah,
the
B swap.
so that APR is not based on swap fees. That APR is based on the owner of those tokens deploying liquid like
Yeah,
inflationary yield to those pools. So I guess no UI shows like the actual native swap fees and the APY that you get,
yeah. Yeah,
which
liquidity
kind of sucks.
positions. Well, I know we got to dip in like 15 minutes, so I don't know if you want to transition. Sounds like we kind of hit ahead in terms of just circling the same questions in regards to this. I know I personally haven't done the Cub burn yet because I was traveling last week for some real estate stuff. I just got all my Cub liquid as we were getting this call started, and turns out I have way more Cub than I thought I did, which is funny. I guess it's good because I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have sold some Cub over the months just for, some liquid cash. But yeah, so tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go through the process of burning my Cub for Leo. I am excited about that, and that'll give me a nice chunk of Leo to add. My stack is getting big. I got a bunch of Leo to unwrap as well, so I'm gonna have some serious Leo power once I can get all this Leo acquired and powered up.
Yeah. So we put out a post yesterday talking about the new process for burning Cub. So the original process required you guys to use a memo on BSC, and
Oh, it's
apparently,
different now? I
yeah,
didn't even see that
it's
post.
different now, and it's a lot easier both for you guys and for
Sweet.
us because the memo
Good. I'm
thing
glad I
had
waited.
people very confused. Um,
I can see.
so
Yeah.
yeah, now it's a three-step process. It also was before, but now you don't have to worry about hex data, which was a confusing thing, I guess, to teach people.
Well, I'm glad I didn't bring it to any of my normies yet that haven't probably looked at Cub or Leo in some time. So,
It's very easy. So I'll give you like the quick rundown of how it works. So when you're ready to burn your Cub, and I've recommended that, when like in order to get ready, and Mitch, I know you've already been doing this, unstake all your Cub from the pools, like wherever you want to get your Cub from. I would say step one, the unofficial step one, have all your Cub liquid in your wallet. So like some people were asking me like, oh, if I do one transaction now and then one next week and then one next, like make it easy on yourself, make it easy on us. Unstake from all the places, get all your Cub together first,
yes,
then proceed with the burn steps.
one
So
transaction.
exactly, one transaction, it'll make everyone's life easier. So
So, yeah.
you get all your Cub ready, then you should do a an unwrap of B Leo. And we're just using Cub. We're not talking about Polycub. Polycub, it's all the same, but with like P Leo and Polycub, obviously. So you do an unwrap. Mitch hasn't read the post yet. I already know from the look on his
I was
face.
gonna say, I'm like, why are we unwrapping Bilo?
So
Yeah, I didn't even know. I was still stuck on thinking about the old process. I was traveling. I didn't see it.
yeah, so the new post, if you go and read it, it's really simple. So instead of doing the hex data memos, because essentially the reason why we have to do that is that you have to link your Hive wallet address to your BSC address, right? So in order for us to do the airdrop, otherwise we can't do it. Like you have to link your address. Before we were doing hex data memos, that was way too confusing for people. So now in order to link your Hive wallet to your BSC wallet, we're just asking that you unwrap Belio and any amount of Belio. It can be one Belio, it could be 10 Belio, doesn't matter. The minimum is one, though. You have to unwrap at least one, otherwise the transaction just won't go through. So when you unwrap it to your Hive wallet, then our system will automatically link your wallets together. So that is step one. Step two is burn your Cub. So you send it to 0x dead. And then step three, we set up a Google form. And all we were asking is like put the links to the transactions on BSC scan. into the Google form, and it'll make it a lot more organized for everybody.
Cool. I'll have to do a Belio unwrap to link because last one I did was I think 2 weeks ago, so it was before this was set up. Um, and I will do one Belio because I'm
Yeah, no,
not
I
trying
mean
to add
it can be
I'm
as
not
little
trying
as
to add to
one.
the tickets.
No,
I'm
it could
not
be
trying
as
to add
little
to
as
the
one.
tickets. Or I could do everyone a favor and just crash the whole thing and try and unwrap all my Belio in one shot and then tell everyone, all right, we're good now. Just unwrap one Belio. I crashed the system.
And by the way, I
Cool.
saw a lot of people having issues with MetaMask and unwrapping Belio. So we did find
I'm glad
something
you brought
in the
that up.
Wrapped Leo UI, and we pushed a bug fix this morning because MetaMask like changed something with their extension that were it was giving you like a nonce error. So try it again if you
Yep.
were having issues before. Try it again. And if it still doesn't work, then it's something related to MetaMask. And if you use like XDeFi
Yes.
wallet or something, it works just fine.
Yeah. So I went through this process a few weeks ago, so I'll add to this and I'll try using MetaMask. That was the error I was getting. This is
Yeah.
before you guys did a push, so I'll try MetaMask just to see if it is working now. But yeah, I ended up uh, loading an XDFi wallet and then importing. So then I um, did like 100 Leo kind of small unwrap to see if it will work. The transaction did technically work, but it didn't unwrap, but it actually went through though. So yeah, XDFi, the transaction will um, submit as opposed to MetaMask where it wasn't. But yeah, I'll try MetaMask too, see if that pushes fix that issue because that's just more preferred because MetaMask is generally what most of us use as our everyday wallet. Also, something to throw out for people if you're in any, so if you're like, let's say in the Beehive Cub farm, right? You obviously want to get liquid so you can burn those Cub tokens. Um, when you unstake, and you go to pancake swap, you go to liquidity, make sure you, even though like it says all and it should be pulling up all your stuff, it didn't for me. I had to click on the V2 and then it populated it for me. And if it doesn't do that, then I just manually I did, add liquidity and I manually put them in because I already had those tokens, imported in my wallet. And then when I backed out, then it popped up in the liquidity. So just FYI on a little quirkiness if it doesn't come up for you. So yeah, but yeah, it's there. I was able to get everything liquid. I'm completely liquid in Cub now, and like I said, I'm gonna look at the new instructions and do the burn probably tomorrow. What that new article? Where can we find that? Is that pinned somewhere, or like I was looking for it a little bit while we were talking. I can't seem to find it.
It's on the
I'm
at
assuming.
Leo Finance account.
Okay, long form post, right? I figured it'd be in trending. I'm trying to go to trending and waiting for this damn thing to load. I should probably go on labs instead of regular.
Um, Sorry, I gotta
Not
do something
streaming.
real quick. We're doing
No, do your thing.
live development here.
Always developing. Oh, I forgot about X poly. Shit, I forgot about my X poly. I got to do that too.
Yeah, you
So I
gotta.
see.
Yep.
I see you have a post on that. I'm gonna bookmark that right now. Forgot about Polycub. All right. So I'm glad to hear we have an updated process. Let me get back to the threadcast. Yep. Yeah, the people talking about MetaMask and Beleo. Hopefully that is resolved. I can't get Cub or Polycub to connect to MetaMask. I'm connected to it right now. Task. I don't know what's going on. I just did a bunch of transactions through MetaMask on Cub like 30 minutes ago. Not even. Yeah, like 30 minutes ago. Odd. Maybe the cat broke it.
Exciting news. Arbitrum Leo is now live while we're on air.
Boom.
Boom.
There you go.
Live.
Live
Doing it.
release.
Always doing it live. You guys
Now I
can't
just got
do
to figure
anything
out how
with
to
it
use,
yet, but it is live.
but it's there. You can look at it in awe. Well, that's good. I still got it. I've never even interacted with the Arbitrum blockchain, so but I added it to my MetaMask, so it should be simple.
Yeah, it will literally be as simple as using, BSC, Polygon, ETH. It's, all
What do we got?
EVM things, L2
Yeah.
EVMs.
It looks like a lot of people already switched. Morty said MetaMask sucks. I use XDeFi. Looks like a lot of people have already using other wallets. What I got to figure out with XDeFi, I imported my wallet, but the thing is, I have like three wallet addresses under my MetaMask. So, and I'm sure there's a way to do it because all I did was I did the secret phrase import, and then it just has my main first account. So it was funny because all my Leo's in a different account. So I actually had to send Leo, B Leo to the other account so I could access it from XDeFi. Otherwise, yeah, I like XDeFi and I maybe would use it as my main wallet. I just got to figure out how to add my other addresses. Otherwise, yeah, I'm staying with Meta. Dagger said, so do we basically want to empty our assets from Cub and Polycub, Beehive, BHD? Well, I mean, so at the end of the day, Cub, Cub Finance is still going to function and still technically produce yield, right?
Yeah, it's very small yield, but a
Yeah.
very
So, I
small
mean,
amount.
someone wants to leave on there. But I mean, the reality is there much incentive? No. But yeah, you can still get yield. So, like, let's say you have BHVD, um, paired, what was it, BHBD, BUSD? Like, let's say you have that going on, right? And it's stable coins. You're like, well, it's stable coins. I want to earn yield. You can still earn yield from Cub, um, and then obviously sell that Cub to take gains from your yield. So yeah. But if you have any, like, if you're in any of the Cub pools, like for instance, I like my Beehive Cub pool, I liquidated, so obviously I could free up the Cub, so I could send it, I can burn it for the Leo. But yeah, the non Cub pools, in theory, you can stay in them and continue to earn yield. What that yield is going to be, who knows?
Yep. Yeah, it's not being like deleted, but it's being like slowly riding off into the sunset would be a good way to picture it.
Yeah, because it's just like it's operational, but it's not anything that's going to be, you know,
Super great to
improved
be
upon or like, yeah, it's not a
right.
priority.
No
It's just going to
new
be, it's going to be there. It's going to be
releases.
functioning,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah, there's not going to be any
It's kind of
new
like one of my,
releases for it.
yeah, it's kind of like one of like my, I don't know, less desirable rental properties. It still operates, it still brings in cash flow, but am I putting much money into it? Not really.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put
I
it.
think it said, Cat, you need to use your XDeFi wallet and create new accounts. When you do this, it will likely create the same accounts as the MetaMask wallet. Okay, well, I
Yep.
have the XDeFi wallet. I have it. The funny part is I actually, because you have to shut one off and turn the other on because a lot of times they fight with each other. So I actually opened the XDeFi wallet on the Opera browser. So I had it on a separate browser. So if I'm going to go full-time XDeFi, then I'm actually going to import it on my Chrome browser, and then I'll essentially like sunset MetaMask. Um, but yeah, ideally I create new accounts, and if I use those same addresses, it'll pull it in. I'll test it on my Opera browser, and if it does all the things, I don't know. I don't really hate MetaMask though. I mean, but it seems like XDeFi is better functionality and obviously offers more. So, and then Luis 88 is all about Rabby. He likes that even better than XDeFi. I never even heard of Rabby, Rabby. Nifty's telling me to delete MetaMask. XDeFi is way better. It's true. I'm gonna tell you right now. The cat is like a year out of date. This past year, I have not like I've done the bare minimum in terms of keeping up with crypto. I've just been so busy elsewhere.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to keep up with, and I think that's a big kind of narrative for what we're doing with Cub here and Polycub is that we are consolidating things back to the mothership,
Exactly,
which is
focused.
what, yeah, being focused, which, I've spent a lot of time looking at startups and I follow obviously a lot of people who are active in the startup world. And one thing I think that has been happening, not just with crypto startups or even small startups, but even massive companies, like you look at what Elon did with X, what's happening at Facebook, it's even happening at Google. A lot of these companies are getting rid of staff and consolidating their offices and really dialing things in and being more focused. Even Apple just sunsetted their, car program, their AI car program. So you're even seeing like the biggest companies in the world, consolidating and deciding that, hey, we spread our focus too thin. And, that's a part of what happens, I think, when you get into these, macro environments where there's like money everywhere and, people are all hyped and crazy. So we obviously had the ZERP, the zero, interest rate era, um, that really drove a lot of startups to not be lean and be really fat and happy and building. And I think a very similar thing happened with DeFi and the entire crypto industry. So time for us to get lean and focus on things, and that's been the path these past 18 months, and I think that's going to continue to be the path as we move forward. So a lot of you see that we're building LeoDex, and that is just an extension of the Inleo UI. So yes, it is a different domain name, but it is very deeply connected to the INLEO UI. And then obviously all the revenue going back to buy Leo off the market. We're not creating any new tokens or anything like that. We're bringing everything back into the mothership. So, very. I think we're very much getting with the times of the broader startup business world.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. Listen, and I got to bounce, so like we can put a bow on it by saying I talked about how like I'm kind of like a little bit out of loop with crypto this past year, and that's because I looked at like most of 2023 and I'm like, how did I get nothing done? It's because I was trying to do four different things. And lately my focus has been more back on real estate. And for the last like 3 to 6 months for real estate has been, well in terms of making progress. So obviously I'm still going to do my crypto, but I'm not paying attention to it to the level that I would if it was my sole thing, essentially crypto is my side chick. Um, but yeah, you gotta have the focus. So like, as much as I wish my Cub and Polycub experience could have been better financially, I'm sure there's others that feel that way. I'm also happy that, all right, that was what it was. Let's get it all in house and have that, kind of vertical stack of all things Leo. So I'm happy to burn my Cub and at least have potential growth with Leo as opposed to the, farming sites that kind of at this point to me are sort of like a dead issue. But cool. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the Maya protocol going live or hey, aka being usable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think these are really
um,
exciting times. Luis 88 asked rough ETA for LeoDex, Maya integration and bridge to ARB. So that's what we can close with. Like I said earlier, we're waiting for the Maya team to release V109. Arbitrum Leo, the token is officially live, literally went live a few minutes ago, which is why I suddenly had to respond to like 100 messages. And then so that's already live. The bridge to be able to bridge Leo to Arbitrum Leo will probably go live this week, ahead of the listing for Leo on Maya, because then, you obviously can get your Leo ready on Arbitrum. So I would say definitely this week for the Arbitrum Leo bridge, possibly even today. We'll see. Um, and then for Leo Dex, the UI and the listing on Maya, we're just waiting on Maya team. So as soon as Maya's team releases 109, that is when all of those things will go live. And they've said either the end of this week or next week. So we don't have anything more accurate than that. But I'll keep you guys
Well,
posted as soon as I hear
you'll
things.
have a, yeah, exactly. You'll have a clearer update next week. Next Tuesday, maybe we'll be live or about to. So awesome
Yep.
sauce. All right.
Sweet.
I got a boogie.
All right.
Appreciate all the updates and looking forward to all the new bells and whistles.
Yep. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you guys
All
next
right,
time.
guys. Have a good one.
See ya.